Hi, this is Tabani Shawangu from Ekaya Properties. Today we are discussing the registration process when buying or selling a property. The process is initiated by the seller who first puts their property in the market for sale, either through a real estate agent or privately so. Then the buyer will find the property in the market, and then if they are interested in it, they will then make an offer to purchase on this property. Then upon receipt of the offer, the seller will then accept or reject this offer depending on how much was offered. But if they accept it, then it is then signed by both parties, seller and buyer. If our buyer requests a loan from a bank, then on receipt of the signed offer to purchase, the buyer's bank then performs a property valuation and a credit check. The credit check is done to check if this person is credit worthy. Will they be able to pay back the monthly repayments of this loan? And also, the property valuation is done to check whether the bank will get their money's worth. If in future this person is unable to pay back, will they be able to recover the money that they gave to this person? The real estate then oversees the next stages. The first one is the seller who is selecting the transferring attorney who does the transferring of the property from the current owner to the new one. This transferring attorney will receive the transferring documents from both the seller and the buyer. He will also receive the cancellation figures from the cancelling attorney who does the cancellation of the existing bond. The title deed from the cancellation figures as well, and from the cancelling attorney as well. The rate clearance certificate from the municipality. He then pays the transfer duties and rate clearances at the municipality, transfer duties at SARS. Number two, the seller's bank will select the cancelling attorney, as we already explained. This cancelling attorney is cancelling the existing bond. Number three, the buyer's bank, the one that granted him the loan, will select the bond attorney. He prepares the buyer's bond and registers it with the bank. Buyer and seller will then sign the transferring documents. These documents are drawn up by the transfer and bond attorneys. Once those steps are done, the deal then goes to the deeds office, who receives from the transferring attorney all the documents that support the transfer of the property from seller to buyer. And then from the cancelling attorney, the title deed and bond cancellation information. Then from the bond attorney, the new bond information from the buyer. The different attorneys that are involved in the registration process, as we said before, it's the bond registration attorney, the transferring attorney, and the bond cancellation attorney. So the bond registration attorney does the home loan approval from the bank. He gets the home loan approval from the bank, then he registers the new bond. Then the transferring attorney will draft the documents of the buyer and seller, who both of them needs to sign. Seller is signing that, okay, this property is being transferred from my name to the new owner. The levy statement from the sectional title or homeowners association, the municipal clearance certificates, the electrical certificate of compliance, and other certificates like the gas, fence, and plumbing certificates, SARS receipt, bond cancellation figures. So all these are done by the transferring attorney. Then the bond cancellation attorney does the cancellation of the existing bond. At the deeds office, they examine the documents, they prepare the transaction for registration, and then execute registration. But what really happens at the deeds office? On day one at the deeds office, it goes to the lodgement counters. The documents are lodged by all the attorneys that we explained before. The documents are individually captured on the system. On day 2 to 3, the documents are linked and badges captured on the system. The printout of the property as well as the persons involved are made available to examiners. On day 4, the deeds are examined by the first examiner, who's a junior. The deeds are endorsed and remarks are stated. If there is nothing wrong, then they will write no rejections. On day 5, the documents are received back from the first examiner and reissued to a second examiner who is now a senior. On day 6, the deeds are either passed or rejected by this second examiner. On day 7, the documents are received back from the second examiner and issued to assistant register. On day 8, if monitor finds matter or issue passed by the second examiner which would have been rejected, the assistant register may also reject the deeds. On day 9, which is the preparation phase, deeds received back from assistant register, split and issued to each attorney to remove notes from examiner. Once the notes are removed, deeds are issued to registration. Day 10 to 14, which is the registration phase, deeds are ready for registration. Deeds ready for registration are received in this phase where it can stand over for a period of 4 days before automatical rejection. On registration, transfer, new bond, and bond cancellation, they register simultaneously. Financial institutions pay out the guarantees the next working day after registration. The sale proceeds are distributed. After the deeds office stages are completed, the bank pays out the bond. The estate agent is paid their commission, the cancellation of the existing bond is settled, and the seller receives the balance of the purchase price. Finally, the buyer takes ownership of the property. The picture here summarizes the whole property registration process from the start when we sign the offer to purchase until the last stage when the proud new homeowner moves into their property. You can follow our page for more information on properties.